Alright, so today we are going to be doing a tutorial on how I design my own sticker sheets at home. But we're doing this tutorial a little bit different because we're kind of just doing it as a behind the scenes of my life, as I currently am a little bit strapped for time. So we are just kind of going through this process as part of my everyday life, which honestly might make it a little bit more of an accurate tutorial. Let's get into it. So all jokes aside, I have actually been wanting to make an in-depth tutorial on how to design, print, and cut sticker sheets on my channel for a while. I feel like I show you guys the process kind of briefly in a general sense a lot in my studio vlogs, but I wanted to do a more step-by-step walkthrough for those of you who still aren't really sure how to get started in doing this for yourself. So let's first kind of just briefly cover the supplies that you're gonna need. First, how are you going to design your sticker sheets? Are you going to do it traditionally or digitally? For the sake of this video, I am going to be showing you guys how I design my sticker sheets digitally using my iPad Air, Apple Pencil, and the program Procreate. I will be breaking down the design process a little bit more in depth, but the other things that you need to consider investing in if you want to make sticker sheets at home is a printer. I have here an obnoxiously large printer with a history of being very temperamental. Any printer will work for this, but just keep in mind that the higher quality your printer is, the higher quality your stickers are going to be. You're also going to need to invest in sticker paper. And I would highly urge you to avoid the bottom of the barrel cheap label type paper, just because that really won't hold up to the wear and tear, which means your sticker sheets are going to have a very short lifespan. That's not something you really want. So when you're looking at sticker paper, it's really important to invest in something that's high quality. I am personally using the Online Labels weatherproof matte sticker paper. It's compatible with my inkjet printer, and I have had a lot of really good experiences with it. If I can critique it in one way, I would say that it's just a little bit on the thin side. I've also used a vinyl sticker paper that is so nice, but I don't use it for my sticker sheets just so that I can keep the cost low because it's a higher quality sticker paper. I will have some affiliate links down below linking to some of these supplies, so if you're interested in checking any of them out for yourself, you can check out the description bar down below. Just keep in mind all of those links are affiliate links. And the last thing that you're going to need if you want to start making sticker sheets at home is a sticker machine. I am currently using the Cricut Explore Air 2. It's this beautiful yellow color, which is very on brand. And how cool is that? Not the reason that I bought it, but definitely a perk. I've had the Cricut machine for almost a year now, and I've definitely gotten a lot of use out of it. But the primary thing I use this machine for is cutting my sticker sheets. I will be going in depth on how I format my stickers for the Cricut machine and how I tweak my settings to get them just right. So bear with me there, but that briefly summarizes all of the supplies that you are going to need to start making your sticker sheets at home. Now, let's talk design. When you are first thinking about making your own sticker sheet, you're going to want to consider a few things. First, what is the size of your sticker sheet going to be? Currently, my sticker sheets are 4.5 by 5.5, but I am trying to migrate to more of a standard size, like a 4x6 or a 5x7, probably a 4x6, but this is just a perfect example of kind of planning the size of your sticker sheet before you actually start designing any stickers, just so you have an idea of how many stickers you can fit on a page, the size of each sticker approximately, and the layout of the stickers. The next thing you want to think about is a theme. Most sticker sheets have a theme. That way people can use those stickers collectively to decorate their planner for a certain month, or maybe they're just really interested in one thing, so they want to buy a sticker sheet to celebrate that topic. Having sticker sheets that operate around a theme will definitely make them more marketable and easier to design. When designing my stickers in Procreate, I typically like to do a very rough sketch layer where I am just really loose and flexible, and I can sketch out some rough ideas for the stickers. I can manipulate them to get the shape just right and adjust the size, and then kind of get the rough placement of the stickers nailed down before I move on to finalizing the colors or the line work. The reason this is particularly important if you're using Procreate is because the quality can diminish if you start adjusting the size after you finalize the line art. So it's best to have the size and layout nailed down now so that you don't impact the quality later on. Another thing to keep in mind when you are designing your sticker sheet is simplicity is key. You don't want to overcrowd a sticker sheet, you don't want to use overcomplicated shapes, and you also want to probably simplify your color palette. That way it looks cohesive, and you don't really want to be overly detailed because a lot of that is going to get lost in the sizing of the sticker sheet itself. If your sticker sheet is fairly small, like mine is, you don't really need a lot of detail. It's going to look really busy if you fill it with a lot of really tiny intricate things, and it might not really translate well. So if you typically have a very detailed art style, you might want to experiment with simplifying it down before you actually think about designing your sticker sheet. Another thing I want to mention in the design phase of your sticker sheet is whether or not you're going to add a stroke to your stickers. I personally always tend to add a stroke because I feel like it makes the sticker look more finished, and I do find that it helps simplify the cutting process once we transfer over to the Cricut. So a stroke can just kind of help simplify that shape if you do have a more complex shape going on with your sticker. The stroke just kind of rounds it out and softens it so that it's easier to cut. And also you want to think about how you're going to package or present your sticker sheet. You could just print your stickers on a white surface, but it's sometimes a little bit more fun to create a fun background that kind of goes along with your theme. So all of my sticker sheets have headers that kind of say what the theme of the sticker sheet is. This is also a really key opportunity for you to include any branding like your website or your social media handles. This is really where you're going to want to do that. So keep in mind where your stickers are going to be in the sticker sheet spread so that you don't interfere with that important information. Now, your sticker sheet design is finalized, you're happy with it, and you're really thinking it's looking good, so you're ready to import it into Design Space, which is the formatting website for the Cricut sticker machine. What you want to do is go into Procreate or whatever design platform you're using and export two separate files. The first file that you're going to export is just going to be your stickers and your stroke if you decided to add a stroke, exported as a PNG file with a transparent background. The reason you want to do a transparent background is it just kind of saves you a step once you get to Design Space where you don't have to delete your background. This is especially key if the stroke that you added around your stickers is white, because if you export it without a transparent background, that background is going to be white, and when you delete it in Design Space, that stroke is going to disappear. So I find it easier to just export my sticker and stroke as a transparent PNG file. That way when I import it into Design Space, that stroke stays intact and I don't have to do any extra steps to clean it up. The second file that you're going to export is your background file. This doesn't necessarily have to be a PNG. You can make it a PNG or a JPEG. Usually I do a JPEG, but you're going to export your background file with nothing on it. So you want to hide the layers that you're not going to be using when you export the background layer. So you have your background layer, you hide your stickers, export that, and then for your stickers, you hide your background layer, export the stickers with a transparent background. Okay, now buckle up because we are about to talk about Design Space. And it can be a little bit of a headache to have to learn an entirely new design platform just to use your Cricut machine. I get it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a pretty user-friendly platform. And if you're asking yourself why I'm not going through the Cricut setup and any troubleshooting, it's actually because I didn't have a whole lot of issues setting up my Cricut machine, but that doesn't mean you won't. So I'm gonna direct you to a valuable resource by my good friend All-J Art here on YouTube. She's a fellow Amanda and she's super awesome. And she actually recently did a video setting up her Cricut machine and walking through all of the different troubleshooting that she did to get her sticker sheets just right. So I'm going to link her video video in the iCards and in the description down below. Also, you should just check her out because she's awesome, and tell her I sent you. Back to Design Space. The first thing that you're going to want to do is launch Design Space and then click New Project. That is going to open up this canvas for us to build our sticker sheet on. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to the left-hand side and select Upload, and then upload your background file and your sticker file. When you upload your file, it's going to ask you a couple of different questions. It's going to ask you if you want your file to be simple, moderately complex, or complex. And my personal preference is to just always select complex because it's going to keep as much detail in your sticker as possible. You want to do this for both your background and your sticker file. And then the next thing it's going to ask you is if you want to save the image as a cut image or a print and cut image. We want to select the option for a print and cut image. This means that Design Space is going to be responsible for communicating with our printer to print the sticker sheet, and then also communicating with the Cricut machine that we want to cut the sticker sheet based on how the printer printed it out. So that is the option that you want to select for both files. Now, both of your files should be in your canvas, and the first thing that you want to do is select your background layer and make sure that it is underneath your sticker layer. This way you can see the stickers on top of the background like they should be on the sticker sheet. Then with the background selected, I like to adjust the size at the top to be the size of our sticker sheet. I want these measurements to be exact because this is going to be the size the sticker sheet is cut into when we send it over to the Cricut machine. Then once I have the background the size that I want it, I will manually adjust the size of the stickers. The stickers will not be the exact same size as the sticker sheet because they actually need to fit inside of the sticker sheet, so they're a little smaller. Personally, I just kind of eyeball it and make sure that these stickers are centered on the background and that they aren't too close to the edges or to any important information that I put on my background. Once you're happy with the size and the placement, the next thing that you're going to do is select both layers, your background and your sticker layer, and you're going to want to attach them. To select, you can easily just drag your mouse over both files to select them, and then to attach, you can either right-click and select attach, or you can go to the right-hand side underneath your layers and select attach there. This is not going to merge or flatten your layers together, but it is going to let Design Space know that you want the background layer and the sticker layer linked so that when you move one, both of the layers move the same way. Then to make the most of my sticker paper, I like to print 2 sticker sheets per paper. You may not be able to do this depending on the size of your sticker sheet. If your sticker sheet is much bigger than mine is, Design Space may tell you that your print and cut file is too big, so you might only be able to print 1 sticker sheet per page. But one thing to keep in mind if you are wanting to print multiple sheets is that they need to be within the size parameter that I can't remember, so I'm gonna put it up on the screen. So keep in mind, these are the dimensions that you want to stay within if you want to print 2 sticker sheets on the same page. Then what I do is I select my layers and I hit duplicate. This is going to duplicate both my background and my sticker layer. And then I'm just going to do the same thing where I select all of the layers on the canvas and attach them. So what you should have now is 4 different layers, 2 background layers, 2 sticker layers, and they should all be attached. Not merged, not flattened, but attached. Then you are ready to save your project and click Make It. When you hit Make It, you will be redirected to a different screen where you will see a preview of your project on the sheet of paper on the Cricut mat. So if you don't see 2 sticker sheets side by side, you need to go back to the previous page and make sure all your layers are attached. This is also where you can adjust the size of your paper and the number of projects that you will be making. For my sake, I recommend only making 1 project at a time, and I know that's frustrating, but I will get to my reason why in a moment. Once you're happy with the preview and everything looks good, you can select continue. On the next screen that you are directed to, you are going to see a few different things. At the top, you're going to see your Cricut machine and whether or not it is properly connected, either via Bluetooth or via USB. Under that, you will see an option to send the project to your printer. When you click send to printer, it will open another window, which allows you to adjust the number of copies that you want to print, add bleed or not, I never add a bleed here because I already add a stroke manually in my design process. And you also have the option to use your printer's dialog over the Design Space dialog. Something I realized recently with my stickers is that I get a lot of banding when I print directly through Design Space. To overcome this, I override to my system dialog, which opens up my printer window separate from Design Space and allows me to customize a few extra options. The key thing that I adjust in my system dialog for my printer is making sure that the quality I select is the highest quality possible. This seems to eliminate any issues that I have with banding, so if you've noticed similar issues with printing directly from Design Space, try defaulting to your printer's dialog box instead of relying on Design Space. You might find that you have a little bit more luck that way. The only downside I've found with this is that it doesn't allow me to print more than one copy of the project. So everything is slowed down and I have to print and cut a project entirely before I can print a second sheet. A little frustrating, but I think it's worth it to ensure the quality of the sticker sheets is as high as possible. Once you make sure that your printer is connected and plugged in, the bleed box is deselected, and you have formatted your printer settings, you can print your project and then move on to the next step. Once your project is printed, you will need to adhere it to a Cricut mat. I have a few different ones here. This is the very first mat that I ever used, and it is definitely seeing some wear and tear right now. It's lost a lot of its stickiness, and so I find that the corners of the sheets will kind of lift, and that can interfere with the Cricut's ability to cut the sheet. So I have recently started using these mats. I have two of these and they are standard grip instead of this blue light grip one. I think I prefer the light grip, but at this point it's just not tacky enough, so I can't wait till these are broken in a little bit and resemble more of this level of tackiness. There's definitely an advantage to having multiple mats. That way you can prep your next project while the first one is cutting in the Cricut. If you're mass producing sticker sheets, I definitely recommend having multiple because it's already a pretty slow moving process, so anywhere you can speed the process up is going to greatly benefit your productivity. One bit of advice that I learned through making a few different sticker sheets is that sometimes my Cricut machine didn't cut perfectly the first time around, and I felt really bummed out wasting a piece of perfectly good sticker paper on a sticker sheet that I now can't use because the cut was just slightly off. One recommendation I have while you're still getting to know your Cricut machine is using a piece of regular printer paper to do a practice cut before you waste a piece of your expensive sticker paper. You won't get the kiss cut effect that you would with sticker sheet, but you will get to make sure that the cut lines are exactly where they should be. And if they're not, then you have an opportunity to recalibrate your Cricut machine before going forward with printing and cutting on your sticker paper. Just a little tip that I learned along the way. Another thing I completely forgot to mention that is like super duper important is making sure that the proper material is selected on your Cricut machine. There's a little dial with different material types. You want to make sure that that is set to paper or vinyl if you're printing on vinyl sticker paper. I just have mine set to regular old paper and that seems to work just fine. Also, I'm pretty sure the Design Space default is for kiss cutting, but it might be worth double checking, and I know All J Art mentioned that in her video as well. All right, so now your sticker sheet is printed and it's done cutting in the Cricut machine. You're essentially done at this point. One thing that you might notice is that the sticker sheet itself, the actual border of the sticker sheet, is also only a kiss cut, meaning it's not completely separate from the remaining sticker paper on the perimeter of the page. You could do a couple of different hacks to trick your Cricut machine into cutting around the border multiple times in order to just make it peel right off the mat as a freeform sticker sheet right out of the machine. I don't do this. I just cut them myself with an X-Acto blade and a cutting mat. I don't mind it. Granted, I'm not mass producing sticker sheets, so maybe for some people this is easier, but to me it just kind of feels like an extra step to have to like find those workarounds when I can just cut it myself and it's not that hard. You could also do it with just like scissors because the cut guide is already there because the Cricut Kiss cut that line all the way around. So if you want to look up other hacks, they're out there. I know some people say you can like copy the background 5 times and that'll be enough to cut through. Audrey Art goes into that in her video as well. If you're interested, that's kind of how I found out about it, and I was like, oh, I guess I could do that, but like I'm just gonna keep doing it my way because I'm old and stubborn. But that is basically how I make my sticker sheets, all the way from the design process through to the final product. It's not hard, but it definitely does take a little bit of practice and a lot of patience as you get to learn these different technical devices, because they're doing a lot of communicating and miscommunicating together. So there will be some troubleshooting involved and it will be frustrating and you will waste some sticker paper and you will feel really bad about it. That's okay. It happens to all of us. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have questions, definitely feel free to comment them down below. I'm happy to help you guys out more if there are more specific issues that you didn't feel like I touched on in this video. Also, let me know what other tutorials you would like to see because I would like to make them and I just want to be helpful to you guys in your artistic, creative journeys. So I'm in a weird mood. I'm like exhausted, but really high energy, and it's just a weird combination at this point. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you